Yo, we live. Hey, welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. Here today, man, bringing you another edition of my starting five for Draftkings and Fanduel, alright? But before we get into that, man, y'all know we got the lineup review from the night before just to see how the starting five I put out for the previous day went. All right, we got that pulled up for you all, man. Another wild night last night, man. Super high scoring. We done had like 2 or 3 wild nights back to back. That has been tons of chalk, tons of value, super high scoring, man. If you went on the right value, it's gonna be hard for you to cash last night. Man, we got super unlucky last night, man. My best lineup with the updated starting five came in this $5 single entry. You see it right here. Put up 314. Just missed the cash line again by about 15 points, I think, or something like that. But super high cash line. Let's get into the breakdown. Now, yesterday I put out I put out the updated starting five, then I put out a revised updated starting five. So you had to be on Twitter for that one, man. So I ain't have time to get back over to YouTube and repost. So if you got the first one, I'm sorry, man. That one didn't turn out too well, but the updated starting five really put up a nice one, man. So if you caught the first one, you probably had I put the first one out at like 7 o'clock, 7:10, something like that. It was Forbes, Bill, Connaughton, Nance, and Vucevic. But about 7:30, when the lineups hit, the Bucks starting lineup was different than I thought. So I had to go back in and redo it, and I put out a revised starting five on Twitter probably at about 7:40, 7:45 after I revised it a little bit. So that's what you see here, man. The re-updated starting five was Jalen Brunson, Bradley Beal, Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Nwora, however you say that last name. Sorry if I mispronounced it. And Kelly Olynyk was the re-updated starting five. Man, like I said, you had to be following on Twitter to see that. Hopefully everybody caught it. If you didn't, man, and you only caught the first one, I'm sorry about that, my bad. But go follow on Twitter, man, so you can be on top of it, all right? So, like I said, the re-updated starting five with Jalen Brunson, Bradley Beal, Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Nwora, and Kelly Olynyk. This is the best lineup I pulled up right here, man. And let's get into the breakdown, man. Like I said, we got super unlucky. We'll start right here at my shooting guard, man. Bradley Beal. My pivot play yesterday, man, a star that hadn't had a big game. I knew was going to go overlooked, man. Thought he was in a good spot, especially against a sorry team, man. They could kind of feed him the ball, let him get his groove back going. So that's why we want to go here. We got Bradley Beal at 6.2% ownership, man. He was on his way to a great one. Put up 30 DK points, and that was just in the first half, man. We got unlucky because right at the end of the first half, he hurt his hip, man, and he didn't even play the second half. So he was on his way to a monster performance after dropping 30 in the first half. Man, it killed us, man. But we just got unlucky, man. There's nothing you can do about that, man. You can't do anything about injury. It sucks, I know. Yeah, I was mad about it too, but it's not much you can do, man. So you just got to take it in stride. Hope he's all right and ready to go soon, man. Him and Westbrook are the main two pieces in that Wizards backcourt and on the Wizards team in general. So that's what we got unlucky at, man. The rest of the starting five, I went to Jalen Brunson. Once we got the news Dante was out and Porzingis out, I had no problem going back to Brunson, man. As I thought he would come in a little lower ownership since he let everybody down yesterday, but the field was on it yesterday. Field was pretty smart. Got him at 30% ownership. Gave us 32 DK points. Very solid, man. Very solid. I was trying to go there as a pivot from some of that Milwaukee Bucks chalk, but that the Bucks chalk got there. It was all the chalk got there. So it's always gonna be a long night when the chalk get there if you're not in tune with it. So the next pick was Larry Nance Jr. at the small forward for the starting five, man. Great matchup against Sacramento. I really went here because Jared Allen was out. So I figured Nance would get some center minutes and that'll give him improved rebound opportunities. I needed a little more from him. He only got 9 rebounds. I was expecting a nice little baby double-double out of him. I mean, but we'll take it. It dropped right at 40 DK points at 17% ownership. Very solid, just not enough, man. You could have paid down and got that. You could have got that and some more from some of the cheaper guys, but this was enough to still have us in contention, man. So I'd take that. Coming in at power forward, man, Jordan Noir just went there once. Like I said, once we got that updated starting lineup for the Bucks, I just wanted to get some of the starters in now. So got him at 22% ownership. He was coming in as some of the lower owned cheap guys from the Bucks. That's what I wanted to try to do, because the Merles and the Thanases, they were so high. I'm talking about like 50-60%. I was like, okay, I didn't want to go there, because with those type guys, man, they can easily fail. Trust me, I don't care if they is 3,000. They still could easily just give you 20 points and that be it. So I wanted to go to some of the lower owned Bucks, man. That was my strategy, as I knew any one of them could do it. Went to Jordan Noir right here. Caught him at 22% ownership. Very, very solid, man. 40, right at 41 DK points, man. Put up a monster performance at a nice double-double, man. Very solid. You needed some of those Bucks guys yesterday, and we had a piece of them right here. Love that production. My center spot, man. Once we got the news, my boy Christian Woods was out. It was a no-brainer for me. Once I saw Kelly Olynyk was starting, it was a no-brainer for me to get him in that matchup, man. I thought he would go a little overlooked, especially with everybody on the Bucks players, and he was at 3,500. He was almost at the minimum too, so I thought he was a great pivot from some of those guys over there. I wanted to get him in, got him at 20% ownership. Great performance, gave us right at 10x, almost 35 DK points, man. Very solid, pushed us toward the top. And that was the updated starting five. Rounding out the lineup, man, wanted to go DeRozan. I knew we gonna need a score right here against the Bulls, man. Another spot we got kind of unlucky, man. Got DeRozan at 2.1% ownership. Perfect. He put up right at 40 DK points. Another little unlucky spot here, as the blowout hindered him as well, man. They crushed the Bulls. He didn't get any closing run, man. If the Bulls could have kept this closer, man, DeRozan could have easily been pushing 50 plus fantasy points last night. Rounding out at the bottom, man, wanted to go to PG-13, man. He gave us another solid performance. I wanted to go to PG-13 because one, Kawhi was questionable, so I knew I knew people was gonna be up in the air about him, but I was okay locking him in because I liked him whether Kawhi played or not, man. Kawhi doesn't hinder Paul George's production. He might hinder his ceiling a little bit, lowers his ceiling, but outside, he's not going to hinder any production for Paul George. They the main two components over there. Got him at 6% ownership. He gave us a nice performance. 56 DK points, man, as they beat the 76ers last night. Gotta love that. Very solid, man. And then rounding out the lineup, went RJ Barrett. I thought I was getting a little different here, man. I thought he was going to come in a little lower ownership, as he was in the Knicks game. So since I knew I wanted some of the Bucks plays, and I knew people were going to be on the Bucks play, I just knew you had to bring some Knicks back in case you got a good game like you did have. So I wanted to go RJ Barrett because he was priced a little higher than some of the other guys, and I figured that would keep his ownership down. But, man, people was still on it. He came in at 21% ownership, gave us 41 DK points. Just okay, man. Like I said, you could have got more from the cheaper guys, so you had to be in the chalk last night, but it was an okay night, man. We still should have cashed well into the money, but like I said, just got unlucky with the Bill injury and then the Spurs blowout. But very solid updated starting five. I hope you caught it, man. If you didn't, please get over, follow me over on Twitter at DFS Goose, all right? Now, let's see what we got cooking tomorrow, all right? And while we doing that, man, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, man. We here every day dropping these starting fives for y'all, man. I'm here for any questions you may have. Post them in the comment section of the video. Ask them over there on Twitter, man. Anybody that post them, they'll tell you. I'll respond as soon as I see them. Might not be time you post it, but I promise as soon as I see it, I'll respond to your question, all right? Let's take a look at tomorrow. Coming in this evening, man. Nice, cool little 3-game slate. Hopefully it ain't as wild as the previous slates, man. So we should settle back down here, man. Not as many moving parts. We got some few pieces joining some teams over here that could affect some usage and rotations and things like that. So it'd be interesting to see how that go. But let's see what I like. Open up at the top, man. Coming in at point guard, I want to look at C.J. McCollum, man. This Portland Trailblazer Toronto game is probably my favorite game on the slate tomorrow. The target as far as fantasy wise, so I have no problem going to C.J. here, and that's whether Dame plays or not, man. Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum just like Kawhi and PG, man. Dame doesn't really hinder CJ McCollum. Now that CJ is fully back, getting his full run. If you remember early in the year, man, CJ McCollum was averaging 41 fantasy points a game with Dame Lillard in the lineup, and he was putting up 50s. 55 points alongside Dame Lillard. So I love going to CJ right here, regardless of whether Dame Lillard plays or not. If Dame Lillard sits, he's gonna be a lock, probably be 100% CJ McCollum. But that's one of my favorite plays right now. Looking at tomorrow's slate, coming in at shooting guard, staying in that game. I'm gonna be all over this Portland Toronto game tomorrow. I want to go to Van Vliet at 7,800 right here. I like this price tag on him, man. You know what Van Vliet does, very solid. He's a walking 40 fantasy points, man. I'm starting to believe that's his floor, man. He gonna get you right at 40 fantasy points every time out the gate. And on a small game slate, 3-game, that's what you just want to lock in as many minutes and as much of the known production as you can. So the guys you know who do it all the time, even though they might not have a super high ceiling, man. It's a 3-gamer, so you just want sure consistency, plays and minutes tomorrow when you building your lineup, man. So I want to go to Van Vliet right here. You know he's very solid. You know you're gonna see all the minutes over there. Great matchup against the Portland Trailblazers. Get you some Van Vliet. Coming in at small forward, I want to look at my boy Will Barton here. This is a spot I'm not all that comfortable with. It's going to be interesting to see. Aaron Gordon's expected to join the rotation today, so I don't know if that shifts Will Barton to the bench or what the starting lineup going to look like. Maybe they move Will Barton to the 2, so maybe they go Murray, Barton, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jokic, who knows? They could elect to bring Aaron Gordon off the bench. It's going to be interesting to see. But on the 3-gamer, man, more than likely you're going to have to play some guys you're not all that comfortable with. You just don't want to have too many in your lineup. 1 is okay, 2 at the max on the 3-gamer, man, especially if it's a lot of unknowns with that situation. So I'm going to look at Will Barton right here, but I'm going to definitely keep my eye and ears open for the news. Right? Coming in at power forward, I want to look at Otto Porter Jr., man. Another spot where we got guys joining the rotation. Otto and Wendell Carter Jr., I believe, should be joining the I anticipate them joining the starting lineup over here for the Magic, as they have nothing out there, man. You saw the last game the Magic are working with. They down to bare bones, man. So I'm expecting Otto Porter and Wendell Carter Jr. to start more than likely, and if they don't start, I still expect them to get very solid minutes, man, as the Magic needed over there. So I like looking at Otto Porter Jr. right here at 5,500 going against this Lakers team. And coming in at the center spot, man, Pascal Siakam. Going back to the Portland-Toronto game, I'm just going to like that game environment. Toronto defense hasn't been good. Portland defense isn't good. The pace should be up a little bit. Siakam starting at the center. I really think he can take advantage of the matchup against Canner, man. He going to stretch Canner out to the 3-point line, probably be able to beat him off the dribble, things of that nature. You know Canner is not a very good defender. I think Siakam going to have a very good game tomorrow, man. All right? There you have it, man. My starting 5 for Draftkings today. C.J. McCollum, Fred VanVleet, Will Barton, Otto Porter Jr., and Pascal Siakam, man. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pool. You know I'm going to have plenty of them, all right? Now let's go take a look at FanDuel, see what I got brewing. Coming in at FanDuel at the top, man. Portland-Toronto game, I'm telling you. Kyle Lowry at 6,600. I think it's a steal over here, man. I know he hasn't been giving us the big performances fantasy-wise, but at 6,600, a guy who's going to be locked in for 30 minutes and going to have all the potential to give you a big performance, you got to take advantage of that, especially at 6,600, underpriced over here over on FanDuel, man. I definitely want to take advantage of that in this matchup. Coming in as shooting guard, staying with my boy CJ McCollum. Slight $100 discount over here on FanDuel. I just broke down the setup for you, man. Just get you some CJ McCollum. You know he's gonna get the shots up. 20 plus shot attempts, double digit 3-point attempts. That's what he do. That's with Dame and without Dame, man. I like going to CJ McCollum tomorrow. Coming in at small forward, staying with Otto Porter, man. Get him for $500 cheaper over here going against this Lakers team. Like I said, I'm expecting him to be in the starting lineup. If not in the starting lineup, being a big part of the rotation. I like taking a chance on Otto Porter Jr. tomorrow for some value. And at power forward, man, staying with Pascal Siakam. In this matchup, like I said, getting the start at the center spot, going against the Raptors, man. I think he can really take advantage of his matchup with Enes Kanter. I expect Portland to go small very quick, man. So if you plan on playing Enes Kanter tomorrow, man, his minutes may not be what you think they're going to be, because I really think it's a mismatch defensively with him trying to guard Pascal Siakam, man. I don't know what they're going to do in that situation, but it's going to be interesting to see. And rounding out that center over here, man, a little different bit. I want to go Montrezl Harrell. I like him at 7,200, man. Marcus Gasol is back, but I don't think it's not going to affect Montrezl Harrell production and minutes, man. I think Gasol still is on a minute limit. Even if he's not, man, Harrell should still be in line for pushing 30 minutes, man. Maybe a few more depending on how he playing, how he gets going. In this matchup against the Magic, man, he'll be able to. If Wendell Carter starts and he starts against Wendell Carter, he'll be able to bully Wendell Carter on the block. As Wendell Carter's a little softer. I don't want to call him soft, but more of a finesse guy versus a big physically imposing center. So I think Montrezl Harrell can kind of bully him inside if he's in the lineup with Montrezl here. So I like going to Montrezl Harrell at the center spot on FanDuel. Right? There you have it, man. My starting five for FanDuel today. Kyle Lowry, CJ McCollum, Otto Porter, Pascal Siakam, and Montrezl Harrell, man. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pool. You already know I'm going to be on top of it. That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I see y'all tomorrow, all right? Let's go.